Giannis, what does Giannis need to do to win the championship?
Learn how to play basketball.
No one laughed. Jesus Christ.
No one laughed.
You have a guy who's not the point guard, who dominates the ball, and he's playing one style. That is amazing during regular season, but when that court gets small, you cannot do that anymore.
Finals MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Giannis Antetokounmpo is universally recognized as one of the best players in the world, and in my view, he is indeed the best player. But back 2-3 years ago, there were major red flags and question marks about his ability to win a championship as the man in Milwaukee. And one of his big critics back then, and even now, is Gilbert Arenas. And you would think Gilbert, after being proven wrong time and time again, he would chill out with the Giannis hot takes. But unfortunately for us, he's back yet again with more egregious takes, saying Giannis has no skill, he's never gotten better, and he pretty simply does not understand basketball. Some pretty hot takes coming from Gilbert that we're going to debunk and destroy in this video. And with that being said, let's roll our first clip.
People don't understand that separation. You know, you talk about there's elite, and then there's a whole nother level. There's a gap. And people wonder, well, why? What separates them, man? Listen, I've learned what separates Bron. You know, what separates guys like Kobe, Bron, the Kawhis, the KDs, or whatever in the world. It's the work that they put in. How meticulous they are with that work, relentless with that work. And there is a true gap.
There is.
There is a true gap.
So looking at the first part of the video, I really agree with everything he said when talking about superstars versus all-stars, even very good players. Looking at the cream of the crop, the best NBA players, even among the top 10, there's definitely gaps in those players. Look at someone like Paul George, Jason Tatum, compared to Giannis or Jokic. I would say all those guys roughly are top 10 players, but even still, there's a gap in overall greatness as well as ability.
You know, I talk to people about that all the time. Yeah, there's elite, but then there's another level of elite in our league of what players look like.
And what's so funny is the media tries to shorten it.
They do.
They try to shorten this gap like it's oh, he's the best player in the league. Not even close.
I mean, looking at Giannis' accolades, a 2-time MVP, 1-time Defensive Player of the Year, an NBA champion, Finals MVP, he didn't leave his team in Milwaukee, and he won a championship as the best player. Looking at those credentials alone, at the very least, he has a case to be the best in the world. Maybe top 1, top 2, even top 3. But saying it isn't close is absolutely ludicrous. And the one guy Gilbert does love in the NBA is Kevin Durant, because KD has that skill, he can pull from 30, and his bag is deeper than Giannis. But looking at KD versus Giannis over the past 2 years, Giannis head-to-head has outplayed him nearly every time. In the last 10 games, having a 9-1 record and winning 5 straight. Even looking at someone like LeBron James compared to Giannis, at least offensively, they're comparable. You could say LeBron has a slight edge, but at the very least, they're close in that regard. But where the big gap is on the defensive end. That goes for LeBron as well as KD when compared to Giannis. And if I could talk to Gilbert, the one thing I would ask him, what is the media that's pushing Giannis? The media in the past said he should leave Milwaukee, can never win a championship, he's the Robin on his own team, and even went as far as saying he's the most overrated player in all of basketball. According to Gilbert Arenas, it's a media conspiracy theory because Giannis obviously isn't good at basketball despite averaging 30, 12, and 6 and playing elite defense.
Just stop. Just stop it. Just stop. Like, this gap is so big, but you're trying to always replace the next person by putting it back. Like his work, I can look at his game and say, he doesn't understand basketball. He won a championship. Cool. He doesn't really understand how to be great.
The irony of a guy in Gilbert Arenas who never made the conference finals, telling someone like Giannis, a first ballot Hall of Famer, he doesn't know how to be great is absolutely rich. It's like the dishwasher at McDonald's telling the CEO he doesn't know how to run the company.
Let's fry something.
And like I showed you guys in the intro when it comes to Gilbert, he was of the belief Giannis would never win a championship due to his playstyle. Now, after being proven wrong, Gilbert says, oh yeah, it's cool he won a championship, but still, he doesn't know how to play basketball. That right there is the very definition of moving the goalpost. And at this point, what's it going to take for these guys to realize Giannis is an all-time great player and arguably the best in the game? I mean, looking at Giannis' career, at every point, he's been doubted and proved people wrong. Early in his career, they said he'd never be an all-star. He made multiple all-star games. They said he was a great all-star player, but never win MVP. What did he do? He won 2 of those things. Then they said, yeah, he's an MVP, but is he a championship player? Then he went out and won a title and shut everyone up. Giannis at every turn has proved Gilbert and his detractors wrong.
He doesn't really understand how to be great, how to be better, how to train his body. Like, you know, I'm looking at the stats. Oh, playing 32 minutes, 34 minutes, 30. I'm sorry, but to be here, you have to train your body to at least 38 minutes and above. Like LeBron played 37 minutes at 37. That's a whole, like, just, that's a whole, Iverson was playing 43 minutes. 43 minutes, like, there's a real, like.
If you're ever debating one of your friends on which player's better, and you're bringing up minutes per game, you know your argument's weak. At this point, Gilbert, he's grasping for straws, bringing up Giannis not playing enough minutes. And the one thing Gilbert doesn't understand, Mike Budenholzer, the coach, that has always been his philosophy. Playing Giannis 32, 33, maybe 34 minutes per game. As back in Giannis' early career, he would play 35 minutes to even 37. But once Bud came in, championships became a priority, and playing 42 minutes in Detroit on a back-to-back became secondary. And probably Gilbert's worst take is saying Giannis does not know how to train. You can take any random guy off the street, show them Giannis in 2014 versus now. They could tell you Giannis has definitely trained. He's got bigger, taller, faster, stronger, as well as smarter. You don't have to be an NBA genius to know Giannis puts in the work and is dedicated to the game of basketball. And look, if Kobe, Michael Jordan, LeBron saying Giannis wasn't dedicated, I would take it more seriously. But this is Gilbert Arenas, a guy who in his career was always questioned for motivation as well as dedication. I mean, look at his NBA career and how it ended. That right there is the definition of not being dedicated and fully involved in basketball. And one last thing I do want to point out before we move on, looking at Giannis in the playoffs, he plays big minutes and is highly effective. Looking at the last 2 years, versus Miami, he played 36 minutes, versus Brooklyn, he played 40, versus Atlanta, 34, versus Phoenix, 40, versus Chicago, 34, and versus Boston, also 40. Playing big minutes, having a heavy burden on both ends, is no problem to Giannis. Now, listening to all those clips, you could imagine Gilbert got some major pushback from a lot of NBA fans. So with that being the case, he took to Instagram and wrote a novel explaining himself. And if you read everything, it's mainly word salad, but there are 2 points that caught my eye. Early on in the novel, he says Giannis, as a rookie till now, hasn't gotten better at threes, mid-range, free throws, post-up, or passing. Now with Gilbert saying that, does he bring any stats, any data, any proof? Of course not. First off, let's look at post-up play and how Giannis has evolved. When he was a rookie, he made 20 field goals per game that ranked 93rd in the NBA on 42% shooting. Now in 2022, he made nearly 70, which ranks 6th on 53% shooting. Looking at mid-range shooting, Giannis as a rookie made 80 on 40%, and now he's marginally improved, making 85 on 41.5%. Sticking with the shooting, looking at 10 to 16 feet, as a rookie, he shot 11%, and now 42%. And expanding even further, looking at 16 feet to 24 feet, as a rookie, he shot 22%, compared to now where he shoots 43%. Want to look at ISO scoring? Giannis in that respect has also drastically improved. As a rookie, having 180 points on 39% shooting, compared to now where it's 310 on 47% shooting. Even looking at simple stats like throw percentage, free throw percentage, assists, rebounds, points, looking at all that, Giannis definitely has improved and is a better and more skilled player. And looking back at the IG post later down, he referenced Jordan in comparison to Giannis, saying, quote, "If this was Jordan, we still have these flaws." Now, I'm a massive Michael Jordan fan, but in Jordan's career, three-point shooting for some years was definitely a weakness. And looking at the start versus the end, there was no drastic improvement on three-point shooting. Even looking at LeBron James, for his full 20-year career, he's never been a great or even good free throw shooter. And the last point I will make in this video, it is now 2022. And at this point, if you don't recognize Giannis as one of the best players and an elite talent, you're simply lost and you're stuck in 2017. If Giannis played 48 minutes per game, shot like Steph, guarded like Hakeem, and passed like Magic, Gilbert still would point out Giannis doesn't have handles like Kyrie. Newsflash for every NBA fan, there's never been a single player who's flawless and great at everything. So with that last point we made, that is the end of the video. As always, thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time.